I'm Ben Bailey, and I believe our Kiwi produce is world class. In 2024, Ahi in Auckland's Commercial Bay won New Zealand's best restaurant and was awarded 3 hats. It's never been more important to tell our New Zealand food story and where our food comes from. The faceless piece of steak or fruit in the supermarket, how was it raised or grown? We need to reconnect with the growers, the producers, the harvesters, and showcase their skills and commitment.
We don't want to produce a product that we can't fully stand behind.
Food is more than fuel to power our bodies. Our food in New Zealand has a unique story, and I want to experience its origins and the Kiwis behind it.
That's got to be one of the most sustainable things I've heard.
New Zealanders deserve to eat the best products from New Zealand. I haven't been to this part of New Zealand for a while, and I've forgotten how stunning Akaroa is. The Banks Peninsula, southeast of Christchurch, and I'm super excited to be heading out on the water. When we opened Ahi 5 years ago, I hadn't considered putting salmon on the menu as I was worried about sustainability issues. But New Zealand king salmon is famous around the world, so if I wanted to be truly respectful of New Zealand ingredients, I had to have a salmon dish on the menu. So I rung every farm, I did my research and chose these guys, Akaroa King salmon. And finally, I get a chance to see the farm in action.
Look at that one. Doesn't get fresher than this. Straight from the farm.
There's so many questions to ask. I guess we've got to start with the history. How did this place come about? I mean, how old is it? What was the thought process behind opening a salmon farm in Akaroa Harbour?
The farm started 39 years ago by Duncan and Tom Bates. I think it was started on a dream. It started with one pen, one steel pen and a raft.
For Ahi, I wanted to choose suppliers that have an eye on the environment and an eye on what the impacts are.
We clean all our nets and our boats by hand. We don't use any anti-fouling. Each one of these pens is 1% salmon and 99% water.
Wow.
We're very proud of that.
So you could put more in, but you don't?
We don't, yeah. We like to keep the stocking densities very low, which gives the fish more room to grow freely. And it helps with that beautiful texture that you love, you know, in your restaurants.
Yeah. And the location here, it's not crystal clear water here. There's a lot of sediment in the water. Is that really good for salmon farming?
Very good for salmon farming. They're quite a shy fish, so they like to have their meal and then just go down to the deep water where it's nice and cold and then
hide out there.
And hide out there, yeah.
I like the idea of you guys not trying to fatten the salmon, and you see these sort of aquaculture farming, you're trying to farm these animals to get as fat as possible, as quickly as possible. And there's probably ways of doing that you're not implementing for some reason.
Yep.
You're doing it, you're growing these fish more slowly.
Yeah.
And therefore, when I apply that chef logic to salmon farming here in Akaroa, what I think about is if a fish is grown slowly, it's going to develop more flavour, and I believe there's truth in this. Akaroa's salmon farm was built on a dream, and it isn't just a business, it's a way of life.
Been at sea since I was 16. Yeah, and then I've been here for 29 years.
Wow, it's incredible.
I've loved every minute of it, just every day is different. In the early days, it was just steel pens and a wooden raft, and we'd just row out every day, feed the salmon. To clean the nets, just give it a go, really. That's what we did. We just give it a go. We start off with that one pen, and here we are now. We employ 100 people. And
wow. So being New Zealand owned is very important to you guys?
It's something we're very proud of. We're 100% New Zealand owned, with a partnership with the Bates family, who are the founding, who started the farm. Ngāti Porou, which is my iwi, and Onuku, which is in the harbour here. So it's a great partnership. Yeah, I know you've got a great restaurant called Ahi Ben, but we've also got a great name too, called Ahi. We're actually called Ahi Mokapuna, which literally means to keep the home fires burning for the next generation.
It's been so great coming out to see the farm, but there is still a little bit more to learn, and more importantly, I need to do some sampling. Nick, what a spot. This is so much different than anywhere in Canterbury. You know, you feel like you're in Fiordland or the Marlborough Sounds right now. Besides this unique location, I mean, what sets Akaroa salmon apart from every other salmon farm in New Zealand and, of course, the world?
Well, I think it sounds a bit weird, but the desire to always be small, to be boutique, that's always what's driven, you know, when Duncan and Tom set this up, they were always working with chefs. It's about doing the best quality product.
Akaroa Salmon is an earnest company with integrity, and this shows, especially with the care they take in the feed for the salmon.
That's been a key project for us for quite a while now, actually. Quite a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, actually, Duncan started working on an algae replacement in there. So instead of using fish oil from wild-caught sardines, we're actually using a farmed algae. It's grown on sugarcane, and they put it through a bioreactor. That means really pure omega-3s going into their diet. Now we've actually taken the next step, and we're part of the Blue Impact program there. So that's all about circular ingredients. So we're actually using insect meal now in the feed as well. So it's actually just the right thing going forward. I mean, this is the future for aquaculture. I think it's really exciting because even wild-caught fish have to eat something out there. You know, there is an impact on the environment. You know, we're not denying that. But what we really got to do is make sure that that long term, that we're still here. You know, that intergenerational partnership with a Nuku and Ngāti Porou, that's about being here for the grandchildren. And we can't do that if we're not looking after what we're taking out of the environment here.
How fast do salmon grow? Like, what's the process there?
Interesting question, because when we're talking about salmon, here we're talking about king salmon, not Atlantic salmon. So we don't want to get those confused, because everything you see overseas is Atlantic. New Zealand's the only country in the world just exclusively grow king salmon. What we've got is a really good, slow-growing feed here. We try and make sure that they're really nice and healthy there. So it's over 24 months from start to finish in here. So we've got to look after them that whole way through.
I guess you are what you eat eats.
They're bigger, they're richer, high omega-3, they're absolutely beautiful fish. I mean, that's why, you know, they are the king, they are the champagne of salmon. People call them the Wagyu, but it is that sort of high tier in there. We personally prefer like a really nice sort of 3.5 kilo size fish, not too fatty, really nice texture in there, and it's beautiful, you know, raw or cooked, and smoked, of course, as well.
Coming up, it's time to do some cooking. I'm in the stunning Akaroa on the Banks Peninsula, learning about Akaroa King salmon, and finally, it's time to try some.
I mean, I love cooking whole salmon as well, but for this, I thought we'd do a little gravlax.
Beautiful.
A little cured snack. We'll have a bit of a barbecue afterwards, but a little bit cold things to start there, and it's a great centerpiece that you can serve up. We'll just come across, and we'll angle in, so we don't waste anything. And then we'll come across the backbone. So I'll just lift up the belly in here, so I don't cut that.
Boom,
and then
so easy.
When we come down, don't try and saw too much. So just try and keep that nice and flat in there so that we don't get too many nice marks in that. The thing about this is a really delicate fish in here as well. So we always pick it up, we treat it like it's a baby, so 2 hands in there as well. And that's what we've got.
Wow.
This beautiful flesh in there, look at the colour.
Wow, that's amazing.
Of that. So,
holy. Oh, look at the fat there. You can see the fat just hanging out right there, look.
yeah, this is the bit, that belly. Everyone loves that belly. The bones in here are really fine. So if we run this across here, we just hear those bones clicking up. So there's no machine being invented to do this for king salmon. It's all done by hand on us. So we'll just get some nice tweezers. And there's a little trick in here. What we want to do is grab that bone, and when we feel it in there, that's it, and it releases, and then it comes out. It doesn't. Get the one that's not in there.
Come on, Nick, your mum's watching. Should we have a go?
More than welcome.
So what you do, Nick, is you just take it out really carefully.
Yeah. I've just got a sugar and salt cure here. I've got a few bay leaves, but I've got a couple of secret ingredients that I put in here. So I've actually chopped up some wakame. So that's the beautiful seaweed that grows out here.
You know, when people eat gravlax, there's often a lot of mystery in it, but it's just so easy. Vodka, gin, salt, sugar, your favourite aromats, and what, 3 days?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, it depends on the thickness of the salmon.
And after that, what, you wash it off and you're good to go?
Yeah, absolutely.
And 3 days later...
Check out that colour change over a couple of days in there. So I put those, 2 days before in there, and you can feel it firm up in there. When it's really nice and firm, that's when you know that it's fully cured.
So super easy, on the angle.
Yeah, nice and thin, popped up there.
Oh,
little
yeah.
cracker on that. The dill creme fraiche.
Don't mind if I do.
Boom. How's that?
It's too easy.
That is so perfect. Get that wakame, juniper, beautiful.
It's so perfect.
Great spot for it too. I think everyone loves that hot smoke, but what about doing something like that for dinner for people? So what I've got here is I've got a couple of planks. You got to make sure you soak them overnight in water.
So that looks like cedar?
Yep, that's cedar in here we've got.
Okay, so what do we do?
Right, so if you want to cut a couple of portions up for us here, I've got the little cob outdoor barbecue going here.
Should I cut them like I do?
Yep.
I always take a little guy off there first. Then I like coming... Do you want skin on?
Yeah, yep.
Has to be skin on, right?
Yeah, I leave skin on.
Got a good season?
Yep, we've got a little bit of salt next to that there. So throw that on and on the board and away we go.
So just like that?
Yep. So that should be nice and hot now. And so we're just going to put that on there and just get that heating up and get that cooking.
Wow, okay.
And then what you want, because this is soaked in here, we just want the edges just to catch a little bit. Beautiful thing, actually serving this in the restaurant. You're going out, that's smoking on its way through the restaurant. It's an absolutely beautiful thing.
I've got to do this, actually.
So I've just made a salsa verde.
Looks mint.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, this one here is definitely ready.
Yeah.
I think people overcook salmon, you know? You want to have it, cook it medium rare and then give it like a 5-minute rest. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that.
Perfect.
It is perfect, look at it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Good?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it gets a little touch of that smoky flavour,
Yeah.
but it's still just melting your mouth.
It's incredible. This is incredible. The texture of it's just so soft, it's so juicy. I mean, it's got the slight smoky flavour of the wood. It's kind of baked, it's kind of fire roasted. I mean, this has got to be one of the most inspirational parts of this series, you know, to be able to be here, Akaroa, get inspired not only by the ingredient that is produced here, but also by the technique that you've showed me, and also that vision of how our customers are going to eat it back in the restaurant. I mean, that's the whole point of coming here. And so, thank you. It's been amazing.
Cool, thank you. Thank you.
There is a staple ingredient in ahi and in my home, and that is the good oil, both sunflower and rapeseed. And another first for me is that I can finally come out and find out how it all comes to be. I'm in the Canterbury Plains and just look at these sunflowers. Amazing. Started in 2012, Nick Murney and a group of shareholders brought a failing government business that produced biodiesel, but they saw a greater picture.
Nick!
Yes.
Where is he? Hello, mate. How are you?
G'day.
Look at this. My first sunflower field.
Wow.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So it's always been my dream at Ahi when we open to have all our products from New Zealand, including oils. I mean, we can get olive oil here, but to get pure sunflower and rapeseed oil, it's amazing. So I guess, like, how did it all start for you?
How we actually started to do cold pressed oils was I was working, so I hadn't purchased the business at this stage, but I was working in the plant and I took a jar home to cook some, took it home and I was going to fry some eggs on a Saturday morning. So I took the jar, put it in there, me and my wife, and we sat down and had fried eggs. And as we were eating it, just on toast, real simple food, not your type, but and I sat there and said, there's a retail product in here.
The penny dropped.
Yeah, and I just thought, shit, there's something, there's actually a product here that we could have a retail product with.
Yeah.
And now we are, sort of 10 years later, and the good oil brand's going fantastic.
So why do cold press? Is it a flavour? Is it for health reasons? I mean, you've really bucked the trend and you've sort of taken New Zealand by storm.
Cold pressing, you leave all the flavours and the colours and the full oil profile that comes out of the plant and out of the seed. You retain that. Culinary oil at home or splash fry or finishing oil in the restaurants. Cold press is way best.
The good oil is not only sunflower, there is rapeseed as well, which is super good for you.
Yeah, so all oils have a fatty acid profile, and it's in their DNA of the plant. Our rapeseed, which is the yellow one for the good oil for people at home, that has 6 to 7% saturated fat, which is half that of olive oil. But the main predominant one is high in monounsaturated, so that's 78%, and that's good for heart health. It's a stable component of the fatty acid and an excellent cooking oil.
Wow, okay. How is unrefined oil better for you than refined oil?
It's the top of ferrules that are in the oils that they actually get stripped out during refining. They stay in there with cold-pressed oils. That's why we have it in a dark bottle, so it doesn't get affected by the light.
Oh, yes.
The good oil isn't just about selling oil.
From an environmental perspective, a new initiative we're doing is we're supplying oils direct to hospital restaurants and to cafes, and then we are collecting the used cooking oil and bringing that back to plant, turning it to biofuel, and then firing up our plant with that. So we get that full circle.
Working with over 100 arable farmers also helps with crop rotations, so they are not monocropping and seen as companion planting. This makes perfect sense.
So they're not growing all cereals year after year. So that allows the ground time to breathe and then increases the yield on all of the rotation.
Yeah.
Sunflowers, they're quite a short rotation crop. They'll be planted in November, harvested late March.
Yeah, okay.
The only thing we'll take off is the seed. The rest of that material, as it dies down, will be mulched and pushed back into the ground for fertiliser.
I mean, look at this place, it's so beautiful. When I think about your brand, I think like you've actually managed to change our purchasing habits, the habitual purchasing habits in New Zealand. You've become a part of our food culture almost, you know, like people reach for the Waddy's tomato sauce and now people reach for the good oil. It's become ingrained in their nature. I mean, that's a huge achievement, I think.
It's just, you know, like a small little brand from an idea has come through to something quite large, and yeah, really exciting.
Coming up, I learn about rapeseed and meet an agronomist. My Canterbury adventure continues. I'm really keen to see some rape seeds which are about to be harvested and meet an agronomist, which is a massive word for someone who knows a lot about growing crops.
So rapeseed is obviously a brassica seed. It comes out, like we bring our seed from, we use varieties out of Europe.
Wow, and here's the seed here.
Yeah, so
the famous rapeseed. It's my first time sort of looking at rapeseed ready to harvest.
So this paddock here has been windrowed probably a couple of weeks and is ripe, ready to harvest. And
so how do you do it?
So the little seeds, you grab the pods and then just give it a good rub and the seed will start falling out.
I wonder who found out that this little seed could produce so much oil.
Yes, it's, well, considering now it's one of the worldwide main oil sources sort of thing, in terms of vegetable oils.
It's fascinating because it's such a tiny seed. I mean, how much oil does one tiny seed produce, like as a percentage, and how many acres do you have to harvest to get like one bottle of your oil?
In our oilseed rape seed, it's about 40 or a bit over 40% oil.
That's
so,
a lot.
So it's a lot of oil. Per hectare, we're getting up to about 5 tonnes per hectare of seed.
Of
so
seeds?
5,000 kilos. Yep. So if you work that back at 40%, we might be getting
2 tonne oil.
2 tonne of oil, a bit under 2 tonne of oil per hectare. So yeah.
And how many mils in a bottle? 750?
A litre and a litre.
Oh, a litre.
Yeah. So there'll be thousands of bottles come off this
Wow.
paddock. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It just blows my mind how they harvest, as the seeds are just so tiny.
As you can see behind me, like we've windrowed this crop, so we try and pick the right time to windrow it, so that cuts it off, and then it naturally will obviously dry down in the paddock, and then we get a, as you can see behind us, there's a front, and that'll come along with a big combine harvester and pick it all up, and then the combine will separate the straw and the seed, and all the straw will go back out on the ground, organic matter going straight back into the soil.
Wow.
So we only take the seed off the paddock.
Rapeseed is another perfect crop for cereal rotation, which adds to the soil.
You actually feel like you can add some value to the farms, to the growers. So, and one component of my job that I spend a lot of time on is actually doing research in the paddock. So we have a monitoring farm system that we've set up, and we monitor crops and we trial different products, and different techniques on how we can improve the crops in the field.
What's been the progression over the last 13 years of being in business?
I've been agronomist here at Pure Oil for the last 8 years. So at that time, the oilseed rape was the main crop we were growing, and it was the first year we actually brought in sunflowers and trialled them to see how they were going to go. And they've built from growing 20 hectares the first year up to about 600 hectares currently, sort of thing, and they are a real staple now. I feel quite lucky because I can see from seed going in the ground to growing, to help growing that crop, telling them when to fertilise it, when to put their right stuff on it at the right time, sort of thing, right through to harvest. And my most exciting time of the year is when the big harvesters come out and I can jump in the big machinery and drive around with them, and then help organise that seed to get to the plant, which is obviously where it gets crushed and turned into the good oil you see in the bottle. So
Yeah.
we're forever improving and looking for new things, and we've also the last couple of years been working with soybeans.
Wow.
Trying to bring that into the rotation and offer that as a new crop option for growers.
And I've been looking for New Zealand tofu.
Yes, yep. No, well, that's my job. So soybeans are obviously in similar in terms of they're still in the oilseed category. They only have about 20% oil in them. The soybeans add another dimension of being a legume, so they're a nitrogen fixer, so they can put nitrogen back into the ground. So it's adding a different aspect or a different crop and different aspects of that crop into a crop rotation.
Could we serve these on, put these on our bagels, mate, like poppy seeds?
Let's see why not.
You could actually crust a piece of fish or something or a steak with them, like pepper. Hey?
They're quite oily though, you got to remember.
Yeah, but then we don't put any oil on the steak, you know? You just like crust it in that and then roast it in the pan with the oil. Well, the ideas are coming now.
Oh, yes.
We hero these ingredients like amazing beef or these real key ingredients, but it's really nice to talk about staples. Like oil is a staple, and so to have oil made in New Zealand, to be able to serve it in the restaurant, have it at home, I think is a really important story to tell.
What an inspiring trip to Canterbury. It makes me so proud to be a New Zealander and proud of what our producers and growers are accomplishing and taking New Zealand produce to the world.
This episode was brought to you by Balance Farm Environment Awards.